We're just 20 games into a unique 2021 season, and a 19-year-old LaMelo Ball has burst onto the scene. LaMelo's quickly pushing his brother Lonzo for best player in the family, but what specifically has been so promising in the early part of his career, and what is a reasonable ceiling for this unique player moving forward? First off, just like his brother, LaMelo has the passing gene, vision, creativity, and the desire to dime up his teammates. Let's play a game here. Which Hornet seems to be the most open? Who cares, because the window on the far side of the rim is open and Miles Bridges is the only one who can get that.
Boom, perfect timing.
When I see a teenager flinging all kinds of passes around the court like this, I start to pick up notes of white chocolate. Jason Williams, that is. LaMelo has eyes in the side of his head, loves going behind the back for minor advantages like this, and well, I might spontaneously combust if he throws a pass this good. Such wizardry feels possible with Melo because he already has covered some of J. Will's greatest hits in only 20 games. Chocolate artistry aside, the other Jason he reminds me of is Kidd, and not merely because he put English on his passes too. Kidd was also a big guard who used his speed to push the pace and weaponize his court vision. At about 6'6", LaMelo can fly in the open court too, and this downhill pressure can lead to scores or collapse the defense and open up playmaking opportunities with that wonderful vision. Ball has a sinewy strength to his driving game, able to take some contact like this and maintain his balance. And even though he's not super shifty, he can change direction at high speeds and then finish with either hand at the rim. Notice how many of these plays are off of makes, with LaMelo just pushing it at ludicrous speed, and he can go off the wrong foot and finish.
Ludicrous speed. Ludicrous speed.
Ball's had really nice touch since high school, which helps him when adjusting and calibrating on the fly, and he's got enough body control to work that spin in tight spots. Joel Embiid gets hit with a stun gun here, let's hope he's okay, and I like how solid Ball is on that left leg when landing. He can jump off 2 feet as well and slither a bit. This one covers enough ground to catch Brook Lopez off guard, and his speed helps him attack closeouts, trampolining off the left leg and switching hands in mid-air. He's also pretty comfortable getting places with his dribble. Here's a nice little hesitation into a smooth finish, and I love that he's shown deceleration at the end of his drives, and again, plants off the right foot here. Although he's not super explosive when elongating his strides like this, so it's going to take a bit more craft to improve finishing in these spots. And while he can make some circus shots with a head of steam or changing hands, if he's going to load up and attack shot blockers like this, he needs to draw more contact or just jump higher. As an intermediate option, LaMelo does have an epic floater. I'm not sure this can be a super accurate shot, but he has some serious range on this thing, and I'm wondering if he can actually make one of these from three-point land. Because he's a Ball brother, three-point shooting is an issue. His shot isn't as wild and unorthodox as it was a few years back, but it still has some funky blue cheese on it. His lower body balance varies from shot to shot, and he somehow seems more consistent launching from deeper, where he has to load up more through his legs. And I can see him being inconsistent throughout his career, or one day actually becoming kind of a good shooter. He's made 78% of his free throws so far, an indicator of some degree of shooting proficiency. Like Kidd, he'll be able to use his size to overwhelm smaller point guards, but without a great mid-range or penetration game, on-ball passing like this loses some of its bite. LaMelo certainly has the tools to be a primary playmaker in the half court, hitting the roll man with quick deliveries at different angles, and he's already manipulating defenders with no-look passes on these. Also, the speed and variety of his release off the dribble is wonderful, quickly snapping this ball off the bounce, which creates extra space for the shooter. Diverse delivery systems like this make so many passes possible. He flows from a dribble into a lefty kick out here, and because the pass is thrown so early, it's an easier look for his teammate. This one's from the same half. This time he comes off the screen, holds this defender with his eyes, then fires it, and have I mentioned how fun the Hornets are? Credit Coach James Borrego for empowering LaMelo as an initiator, and for running actions like Spain pick and roll, where Ball's reads and assortment of release angles give him multiple passing options to choose from. Here's a fun set with a ton of movement, and Ball is the second handoff option here, and he's about to drop the floater, but realizes two players are chasing a teammate, and so he kicks it to a better shot on the wing. This kind of decision making is fairly incredible for a teenager, and since he anticipates movement and manipulates defenders, it's safe to call LaMelo a passing prodigy. He's certainly trying the tight, audacious passes that the all-time passers try, and he's already hitting a ton of these home runs, and half of his assists have gone for layups this year. LaMelo's offense in my box plus minus model puts him right in the thick of the great rookie point guards of the three-point era, and while it's early in the season, this is a promising offensive start. Defensively, he's actually been surprisingly active. He almost blows a tire on this backdoor cut, but then works to stay connected and recovers back into the play to force a turnover with the deflection. Ball's lateral movement is decently quick when sliding with other players, and you can see how active he is on some of these possessions. Because he's barely played at a high level, he's still quite raw on that end. He's like a cat chasing a laser here, and then hustles back and saves a layup from behind. He keeps Trae Young in front of him here, but bites hard on this fake, and wouldn't it be nice if lunging 2 feet forward into a defender was an offensive foul? Just me? Anyway, here's a more subtle example of his inexperience, where LaMelo moves into decent position, but doesn't realize a screen is coming, and that separation gets Charlotte into scramble mode, and ultimately leads to a high percentage shot. But there are flashes here that are really intriguing, peeling off beautifully for this steal, and his speed could be a weapon on this end. He's anxious to tag the roll man, then reacts well to the passer and just beams himself to the corner, and the quickness and length of this closeout force a travel, only it's uncalled, so LaMelo hustles back and catches OG from the rear view. That wasn't his only defensive highlight of that quarter, making a bonkers read here to break up the outlet with his length, and then he goes right into attack mode and flips a beautiful hook pass to a shooter. On this one, he's guarding the screener in the pick and roll, reads a pass, and his length and quickness jump it, and again he's off to the races, and instead of forcing it, it's yet another perfectly placed kickout. LaMelo's hands are fairly active, and he has a steal rate near the top of the league right now, and deflections can lead to those transition opportunities where he's already dangerous. Ball has shown a willingness to help really early from the weak side in these rotations, although again, a lack of experience hurts him in more complicated situations where he's responsible for 2 attackers on the weak side. It would be extremely unlikely for him to land near the great kid as a defender, but there are similarities that make me think a watered down version is possible, which would be a really nice value add. I'm also excited about how active he's been without the ball, and how that absurd passing is still dangerous when he's on the move. For me, LaMelo's too unique of a prospect, and his sample still too small, to confidently peg what he's going to look like as a 25-year-old. But given his potential to be a positive defender, and his passing and dynamic offensive tools, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he becomes an all-star guard, and in the meantime, he's going to be really fun to watch. Quick programming announcement, the Greatest Peak series will be resuming Monday, February 15th. Patreon subscribers will get early access to that as usual, and the best way to support this channel is by signing up at patreon.com/thinkingbasketball, where we have monthly Q&As, a discussion community, extra content, and more. Thanks for watching this one all the way through. I hope you enjoyed it, and of course I hope you're having a great day.